All right, so let's just talk about a basic message. Here's just a couple of options you want to take a look at. First of all, again, always watch the preview over on the right-hand side. You're going to see the name of your page at the top. So what I always like to do is address people by their first name. And again, this is think of more of a text conversation and not an email conversation. So this could be, I always like to say, hey, Bob. So, hey, Bob, I have something for you that you may like to see. I have been working on something I want to share with you. Okay, now besides the little, of course, great grammatical spelling errors, we'll get this all taken care of. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll put a little smiley face in here. Okay, so we want to share something with them. Great. Well, we have a couple of different options. Again, look at the menu over here. Very short message. Well, one option we have is add a button. So if we want, we can go ahead and type in, for example, this button here. And I showed you in just the previous video for just a moment. But this could be new button click. Oh, by the way, you can use a little emoji in here if you want to. Right? There you go. Now I want you to look over on the right-hand side. So this link is essentially attached to the to kind of the message. See, it's all kind of combined in together. So see what happens is new button click. Now we have options. Reply with message. We can either create a new message or we can select one of the previous messages we created. So let's say down the road that we want to use a previous message segment. We can say, oh, if you're interested, for instance, 21-day challenge, they can click this button to go over to a sequence we already wrote about the 21-day challenge. It's more advanced. We'll get there in a minute. So we can either reply with message right here. We would create new message or open website. So open website, link right here, URL. So let's just put in here for Google, for example, .com. Great. Okay, got Google. Now remember, anytime that someone clicks on something, we want to make sure we add an action. So this message would be, let's just say we were sending this message out and we were talking about apples. So it'd be Apple message, and then depending if it was a Facebook Live that people were coming from or where they were coming from, I'd want to know what's this message, about. But it would be people are writing us about the Apple message, and this would be the new button click. Okay. So people came in, right? They said, let's just say a keyword or whatever, just for example, but just for a message example, I'll show you how to set up the keywords and everything else in just a couple more steps. But as a basic message, what you always want to do is you always want to make sure when someone clicks the next step that we're adding the appropriate tag. Remember to click below. You always click the gray box. Okay? Save. Now, you can put up to 3 buttons below on a single message. So for instance, we all maybe also might do a phone number. So for example, 512-555-1212. This would be call our office. Call our office. Again, it doesn't have to be grammatically correct, but it's fine. Call our office. So what happens is when they click on it, it would call your office. All right, so we got call our office. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another button. So let's just do create message. Okay, so create message. So take just a second to pull it up. There we go. Now, if you try to save this without creating a tag, it will cause an error. So what we do is we go back to this post. See the little triangle right there? It's usually because there's no text in there. Okay, so this button right here, this is, let's just say this is a 21-day cooking guide. Let's just say, for example. Okay? All All right, so 21-day guide. Remember, new action. So we'd click on this, for example, and we would tag whatever this, whatever the message would be. So this could be, Apple message, right? Someone's messaging us about an apple, say a recipe or whatever. Okay, Apple message, and then this would be 21-day cooking guide message. Click. Okay. Or just 21 guide click. Yeah, I want to know if people are clicking right here on the message. Okay. Add tag. See what it says? Select message reply. It says new button because that's what that was named of right there. But if I double click that, there we go. Okay. Now what I want you to notice at this point is the message that we've written before. Again, doesn't take up half the phone. Great. The 3 links, though, are attached to the text message. Kind of looks like all one message. Believe it or not, it seems like a lot of people would click through right here. They don't. The click-through rate's actually pretty low, just the message in just 3 links. 3 links are okay to put up there, but let me show you this. See, what happens is when someone clicks over for a message, it's going to open up a brand new message. And again, this can be a new message that we're going to type out, or it can lead to another sequence. So maybe we already wrote a couple of emails about the 21-day cooking guide. So when people click to message about the 21-day cooking guide, it would go over to something else we'll talk about in a minute. And underneath automation is sequences. So again, all different ways to message, but my primary functionality here of this video is to show you what these buttons are all about down here below. All right, so I already said that people will look at these, some people will click at them or click on them, but watch this. One thing that I like to do is to break up my messages just a little bit. So for example, what I may do is I may remove just these links right here. So I'm actually going to remove all 3 of these links. And I'm going to make this just a little bit more conversationalist. So this is kind of 101 at the first start, right? If you want to send a message that has a link or a phone number or a message, you can do that pretty easily. Watch what happens. I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Let's go ahead and delete this as well. And I'll delete this. All right. So now what it looks like is I have a message. Hey, Kurt, looks like I have something you'd like to see. I've been working on something I want to share with you. Now, here's another text block to break this up. What I have for you is pretty amazing, and I can't wait to share it with you. Now, see, they're 2 separate messages. Now, when the person would get the messages, they would be sent simultaneously or pretty much almost instantly from one another. And what's going to happen is it's going to show up just like this. Well, what happens is if I want to send a message and I want to communicate with someone just a little bit, I'm showing you the functionalities of the message. What you can do is, this is one of my favorite, delay. Watch this. With the delay, and any of these boxes, by the way, you can move around. So you can delete any of the boxes with the X, move it with the arrow. Seems like there's a small delay on this, so let's see if I can do it one more time. There we go. Again, ManyChat's just it's new technology, so there are sometimes things that just don't work, but here we go. So wait 1 second, click on this button, watch this. Delay 4 seconds, show typing. You know the little bubbles that kind of pop up when someone's typing you? Well, here's another way, and I always say this isn't to trick a user, this is to make it more engaging. It's kind of like opening that open loop, right? So what ends up happening is this, it just got deleted, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and put another message up in here. I'm not really quite sure where that language came from this evening, but let's go ahead and move this to the very top. There we go. One more. And there we go. Okay. So I have something I want to talk to you about. Like, we can have some fun with this, right? And really what this also does too is either we can have some fun with this in a little chat. So let me fix that real quick. Otherwise it's going to bug me with the red line. I hated red lines in school. Okay, I have something I wanted to talk to you about. Well, we can use this delay button for a couple of different things. One, it builds interest and intrigue, right? And you have a couple of different options. You can delay the button to come up for all the way up to 60 seconds, which I think would kind of be annoying. But depending, you can use it for the right sequence. I'll explain more in just a moment. But let's just say that you wanted to get across just a quick little message. So, hey, I have something I wanted to talk to you about. The second may have a 3-second delay on. Now, the reason for the delay is, again, not for trickery. It's to break up the messages. What I want someone to do is I want someone to read just a couple of different lines. I want to show you how this starts to break down. I'm just going to hit copy and paste just a couple of different times so you can see how long the message is. See, it doesn't take too much at all before what you start to see right here is you start to see the message really starts to pile up. So what happens is I want to make sure that I'm going to break up the monotony. And I'm either going to break up the monotony of the message by putting in separate text message boxes just to separate up the text. And I may put a delay in typing. Again, what my goal is not to send one whole long text that all of a sudden when it shoots in someone's phone or a Facebook message, they have to scroll back up. So I'm going to type just a little bit. You don't have that many characters to really type, right? I mean, you have about 600, I think, or like 620. So you don't have a whole heck of a lot to type in here. So let's keep it really short, 640. Let's keep it really short and easy, okay? Short and easy. So again, I break up the messages. Sometimes I like to add the little delay. So a couple of other things I like to add the delay for as we're engaging. So one thing is an image. You can click, you can add an image. So now people don't click on an image, but you can send people an image. Maybe you want, like one of the things that I've done before is I've sent a message, hey, I have something interesting for you. 3 seconds goes by. What I found is pretty amazing. Can't wait to share it with you. And then I have an image right here. Remember, it's like a text message, a meme. So it might be a funny picture I grabbed online, which is like one of those little GIF images, you know, that moves for 3 seconds, says, give me more. So I may have a little text right here, little delay timer, little text, little delay timer, and then an image of give me more. Or this may be just text here above, eliminate everything else, and then you have a text and just an image. Maybe it's just for an image for your brand. That's it. What we're looking for is people for multiple exposures, not necessarily to your brand, but also to the faces that represent your brand. So anytime we can have faces and the images here looking right back at people, that's great. We'll get more into that psychology as we go through the trainings later. Again, this is really just about how to figure out or how to fill out the messages. All right, so you know you can add a picture, you can move that at any time, but you can't click on a picture. So let's move down here below and look at some of these other options. All right, so we have text. We can split up the text. Image, we have image. Card. Now, I highly recommend cards. We want to use it on the appropriate messages. We'll cover that later, but here's what a card is. So a card is great for any specials that you have going on, for anything you're promoting. It has a very high click-through rate. So, for example, let's see here. This is a paleo book. I'm just going to show you for an example. Upload. The image isn't loaded right, but let's just say this is an image of paleo book. We're talking about paleo. Great. I'm going to go ahead and enter in the title here. Paleo book special. Okay. There's the URL. Now, many times what I'll do, as I mentioned before, is people don't necessarily click on a URL that's attached to the message. Sometimes they will. So let's just say, for example, that I send this, hey, let's make this really short and easy. Delay it for 3 seconds. Next message comes up. Hey, I got an important link I want to share with you. click this button right here. If I ever want to share a link, I'm just going to do this very quickly. Open website. I'm going to put share a link. Actually, this would be the Paleo book, right? Paleo book. Great. Open website. www.paleobook. Great. New action. So this would be add tag. Because again, anytime they click on something, we want to add it. So right here, I'm going to show you all the foundational work, then where all the tags add up. So Paleo book. I like to put link click. Just tells me what they're clicking on specifically. So Paleo book link click. So they clicked on this link right here. Now, what I see many times is people will click on this 10 to 15% and this the rest of the time. Same link. So what I may do down over here is when they click on this card is I know when they'll click on the card because ManyChat will say Paleo Book Special will have a card click. Okay? So, but this will be the same URL typically I usually put right here and I usually get a much bigger click-through rate. So this is a subtitle. You will love this book. Free opt-in. So maybe this takes people over to your free opt-in page. Okay, add button, watch this. Add button, a little bit different feature. Open a new website. Sometimes I put the same link as I do right here, as I do right here, as I do right here. Why people choose to click on what, it's completely up to them. But you have open website, call phone number, or open share window. So for example, open share window right here, it just says share. You can't change it. So if someone was to see this image with this link, they would hit this share button and then they would share it in Messenger. So in Messenger, as you've shared messages before, you can share it with your friends, you can post on your wall, there's lots of different options. But what I love about this slider down below is besides the little share button, let's just say that this would open up to a website and this would be the www.paleobook, right? And then I want to make sure that I have a new action in here. So I'm going to click on add tag. So right here, this would be Paleo book click, book. And then for me, it says link click. I would put slider click. Okay. New tag. Great, we've added a tag. Again, I'm showing you the foundation so we can show how this all lines up, why we do the tags and everything else in a minute. But let's take a look at this. Okay, so short and easy on the right. Great, then there's a little break for 3 seconds. So you can see this is a different message, right? So you see this different message with the link right down here at the bottom. It looks like it's attached to the same message. What I love about this Paleo Special is it's not attached to the message, it's bigger, and it's easier to kind of click through. People just seem to have a higher click-through rate. It's almost kind of like a carousel. See, we can click this right here. This actually takes us over to the next carousel. The screen will refresh here in just a second. Great, I'm gonna put in another image, okay? So let's put in this one. Okay, so this is for Food Revolution. And again, it's not all formatted right, but I just wanna show you this for example. So Food Revolution, great. I'm just gonna put foodrev.com, great. This is another thing. Learn to eat better, faster. So what I may be doing is let's just say for example, I'm sending out a broadcast message, which I'll show you in a minute. But I'll show you, you might send out a broadcast message or a follow-up. And what you want to do is you may want to promote 2 or 3 different things that are going on this month or in your message where you can make it an easy slider. So for example, if you're sending someone a message about apples, right? Hey, let's make this short and easy, ... What I have for you is pretty amazing. Can't wait to share it with you. Sometimes I put the link down here. Again, you know your options. But then I like to have a slider come up. So I might have a couple of second delay, again, just to make it a fun message. And what's going to happen is, pulls up this slider. Again, there's a link. I can add a button. So if I want to, I can add a button. Now I'm usually sending people to website clicks, so I'm doing a lot more website clicks than I am like opening share windows. These are all things that we're experimenting with. I'm just hitting save on here just for time's sake to make it really easy. And then you might add in a third slider. Now, what I don't want to do is add in lots of different options for people to go to. I want to be really specific. So if I'm sending a message out, I might send a message out with one link, like let's say I'm really promoting the paleo book, and I may have 3 options down here below, but they're all aligned with the paleo book. So for example, I might put meal plans, okay? And this would be www.mealplans, okay? And then my title, get 50% off meal plans. Great. Click on this right here. Go to a website, right? Click on this 50% off button. Okay. 50% off button. Go to a website. Put the URL and action. So the way that this looks like on the phone is, again, short and easy. Small little typing delay. Hey, what I have for you is pretty amazing, and I can't wait to share it with you. There's a link or a message. Here comes next. It comes right on down. Look, here's the slider. Here's how the slider works. See? Works just that easy. People can slide it on their tablet. People can use their iPhones with it, or smartphones, or on a desktop. Works out great. So again, I like adding in the sliders. If I'm going to share the link, I add a picture to it, add in the slider. Seems like you get a higher click-through rate. Now, we could probably go into a debate later about how much is too much. We'll more talk about that later. But the main goal right now is what we want to do is we want to send someone a message. And when we send them a message, we don't ideally want everything to pop up in their phone all at once. And then it just kind of looks like spam, right? It looks like they got a bunch of different links and a bunch of different images. So make the messages really short. Let someone take action to move them to the next point. So let's finish going over the message here, and then I'm going to talk about how we move people over to the next point. So my screen's just a little bit slower because from what I'm recording, but if we scroll down here below, all right, that gives us the card option. Well, I can pretty much already create a gallery, right? A gallery, you can have as many, I don't know how many max you can have, I think maybe 6. List, if you want to go ahead and create a list. So this is great if you had a couple of different options. So see, add a button right down here. So what's the add the button? So make image, so we could, whoops. So this could, for instance, be, the mouse is clicking around on me. Hang on one second. There we go. Open website. URL. Google.com. We would mark the action, of course, and then this would be button. Okay. And then we have the title. So make first image large if we want to do that. See? And heighten the image. So what we could do is drop the image right here. Let me show you what that looks like. So for example, let's go ahead and put this together. And again, this isn't all put out exactly, but look at this. It almost kind of looks like an opt-in page. Isn't that beautiful? So, click here now. So this could be an opt-in. Opt-in for video 1. Right? So, video 1 here. So, of course, I removed the text in the background. But there we go. And there's the button. The button could be for video 1, like if you want to do a video series, it's an idea, right? Could send it right back to a website. Here's the next one. So what people can do then is very quickly, ooh, watch this. So let's drop the image. So what do we have here? Let's see, what's that? Yep, so we have one big image, small image, title, subtitle, button. So the way that this is going to look is, let's scroll up at the top. It's just an image, which is great. So we just click it, we just go right to the link. It's actually great. You can't, it's kind of hard to see right now just because I didn't put the right image in there. But you can see where this could be a header image where people can click directly over to your call to action. Video, call, whatever you want to do. It really looks great. And then of course you have the subtitles, and there's some of the other messages. Let's take a look at what the element is right here. Yep, it just adds another element if we want to do that, so people can scroll down through message options. So maybe you have recipes that you want to share on down, right? This could be 4 summer recipes. So it would say 4 summer recipes, scroll down, get all 4 right here. People could scroll down and see all 4 recipes. So again, just a small little example. The other thing we have is audio. I love using audio. So the way that audio shows up, let me hit this little button right here. Let me scroll on up. Audio is great. So we use this for a lot of our clients, is because we can get the voice just listening in someone's ear, like the voice of our talent or our client in the ear of a prospect. So we might say, hey, we have something really short and easy. What I have for you is pretty amazing. Can't wait to share. We have the link that goes in right there. We have a slider. And what may go right before the slider, let's just say we're sending out some kind of promo or with the promo email message. Watch this. What I'm going to do is I am going to move up this voice. For many of you, you're going to like this. For coaches, speakers, authors, this is really big. So let's move this on up. Just a moment. My computer's just running just a little bit slow. Here we go. It's because I'm recording and I got like 3 or 4 different screens open. It's late at night. All right. Keep going. Again, this will probably work faster on your computer. There we go. I'm going to drop this right in between. Drag and drop. Should drop. Well, that is what the goal was. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Okay. Now I want you to look at the phone experience. So for instance, what you may do is, let's scroll. Okay, short and easy. Hey, what I have for you is pretty amazing. Can't wait to share it with you. There's a book right there. Now here comes an audio. Now there may be a delay between the audio and the slider. So the audio may say, hey, I'm really happy you're here. If you haven't already done so, make sure you check out my paleo book. I mean, the link's right above this. Now, in just a minute, because see, this is why you may have a 60-second delay, because maybe for the first 30 seconds you want people to listen to your voice. This is where the time delay becomes really fancy and neat. So what we're doing for clients right now is, like for a coaching client, for example, they may say, hey, look, before you take the next step, I want you to listen to the message down below. We've recorded up to 10-minute messages, literally from the iPhone. You record it inside your little iPhone recorder, and then you can just beam it. If you have a Mac, you just beam it to your Mac, and then you can just upload it directly. But if you have a digital phone, you can most likely use a voice recorder that you can upload an MP4. So use voice. We'll go through the strategies later, but use voice to communicate with your audience. Tell them what to do next. Give them a little word of advice. Give them a little bit of insight. But man, I'm telling you, this right here, to get in your prospect's ear, to your customer's ear, that voice is great. Now, the other thing that you're going to see down here below is you're also going to see video. Now, if you upload video directly from your iPhone, you're only going to be able to upload like a 13-second video. The only way that video is going to work is if you render the video to a smaller size. So I'm not going to go into that now, but it's 25 meg is what they're going to allow you to upload in a video for ManyChat. So what I suggest to do is, if you do decide to do a video, we have done videos up to 5 minutes. And what we do is we use something like ScreenFlow, or we use some like a screen capture or Camtasia. And what we do is we render the video to web size, a small web size. Remember, most of these videos are going to be seen on like a phone or a mobile device for the most part. So we're not looking to have a high def, really large video. I think the biggest they allow is 25 meg. But what we do is we render it in a lower size, and that can be more for later on down the road, where we show you on how to do that. Now, the other 2 buttons that I want to show you before, because I know this video is getting a little bit long, but lots of options to use in a message. file. You can also send a file attachment. Drop any file that you want to upload. So the thing is, though, is I don't know if I'd want to send a file per se, because I want people to go over to my website, or I want people to message me, and I want to track all that. So we haven't really used files per much. We pretty much use links, and then of course the delay. Now the last thing that I want to show you, and I know the video is getting a little bit long, but I promise it's definitely worth it. Quick reply. Now, quick reply is really fun. And this is almost kind of where survey starts to happen. So quick reply. I'm going to pick an emoji. Watch this. By the way, you can upload your own emojis. You can click this right here. You can actually upload your own logo. So, yeah. This won't fit perfectly, but I can show you. Oh, wow, that's your own image. Great. So this may be, I have a question. Okay. Now, what happens is they're going to click on this, and they're going to go to, I'm going to create new message, actually new tag. So tag, and this would be my Apple message, and this is, I have a question. This is called a quick message. Quick message. Click. Okay, quick message click. There we go. Create new message. Great. Great. What do you want to do from here? Okay, let's delete this out. Now what I want to show you for the experience of the customer, okay, because this is going to take them over to a new message, but we said, hey, short and easy, send them another message after a couple of seconds. What we have for you is pretty amazing. There's a link, and then we have this audio that can describe to someone, hey, here's the next experience. And then we have the slider that comes in. Again, we can have the slider there. The slider for us seems to have the biggest click-through rate for any of the other clients when we're promoting something or moving someone over to the next steps. So I just like the looks of sliders. So for like one client, we promote a webinar, and then the next slider is a podcast. The next slider is one of the older trainings that we have for another opt-in page. So the other experience I want to show you, though, is when someone clicks on this quick reply. Let me show you how the quick reply looks underneath the message. Quick replies are great. You see how this link is attached to the message for PaleoBook? I've said that over and over, right? Well, the audio message isn't really attached to anything. It's just an audio message. So it's stand by itself. It's great to click on. The sliders are great to click on. But this right here, it's almost like a survey option. This is later what I'm going to show you is if you want to survey people and tag them in a certain way, that's what you're going to use this button for. See, what these buttons do for this quick reply, let me scroll down here and just show you this, because I'm going to show you just two other quick little messages here. This is where it's going to start to get to be fun, and if you, especially like if you've read Ryan Levesque's book Ask, this is where it gets really exciting, right? So let's go ahead and here want a challenge. Okay, that can be one right there. And another quick message is want health or Heath. Let's just put health. There we go. Okay. So let's scroll up and show what this looks like. This is a very unique feature, again, called quick replies. See, what happens is I have 3 different replies I can choose from. Okay. And again, they're like little surveys down here that I can select. Okay? I just got to select whatever button that I want to go to next. So for instance, I have a question. If I click on this button, watch, these other bubbles disappear. The other messages stay here, but the bubbles disappear. It's almost like, that won't show me the preview there. That's great. That's what I thought. Let's scroll on down and watch. You're going to see that the other options are going to disappear. Want a challenge? So this is what they call a quick reply. Someone clicks right here. I have a question. Pops up into a brand new message. It looks like the person typed in, I had a question. That's what the message is for. They're quick replies. So they can just kind of choose their own adventure. So sometimes people will say, like as the default reply, for example, that we've gone over, right? On the default reply, they'll say, hey, I just received your message. Thank you. Meanwhile, check out the main menu down below. Or check out the question down below. And the question is a quick reply for whatever they're promoting. Interested in a 30-day challenge? 30-day challenge question mark. So they may do 30-day question mark or 30-day challenge question mark and then lead them over to another message sequence that was already written. So this is a way that people can kind of choose their own messages. Again, a quick reply. The difference is, and this is really important for a distinction, and I know the video is getting a little bit long, but important for a distinction. Look how we have these text messages. Look how everything lines up. The messages look great, but look, now we can have people choose their own adventure. So we can say, hey, what do you want to learn next? They click on the button. They go to a next sequence of messages. So these are all the primary buttons to send our messages. Let's not get overwhelming to people. Let's send 1 to 2 messages at a time, and then when they click, we can link them to the next experience. What I firmly believe that people are really excited about the ManyChat option, or just the option like this, is people can go to Google to look for a general answer. People can go to your website and search over your website, which is designed like very differently than many other websites to find what they want. Or here, people are quickly choosing their own adventure and we're able to tag them appropriately. So this goes over all the message. This goes over all the message options. Let's now go next to growth tools so we can talk about how we're going to start automating some of this process. So actually, we're going to go to automation, main menu. So the next place is automation, main menu.